over the past 10 games, guys. His scoring is way down, and he can't seem to fight his way out of the slump. He better get it going tonight, or they'll start losing patience with him.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Shea is out there with Culver. Then there's Walden. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Reed in at the 4 spot. And for Portland, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. Then it's Little. And it's Jeffries in at the power forward. 2 great pivot men tonight, Chris. The position has obviously changed over the last couple years. If you were playing now, you think you'd be more of a 4 or a 5?
You know, Kevin, I think I'd be a 3. I played the 4 and 5 in the NBA when I played, and I think I'd be a 3. Right now, you get to shoot, you get to take guys out on the wing. Defensively, though, I'd have to make sure I call for some help because laterally, you got to be able to move out there with those guys. But I think definitely it'd be the 3, 4, and 5 the way the game has evolved.
And you can bring the ball up. I've seen you do it. I know you could do it in this game as well.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you have a lot more opportunity to do it in this game, and that's not a criticism. It's actually, I love the way the game is played now. It's a lot less hand-checking, more space, and when you play with guys like I did from the Pejas, Stojakovic's, and all the great shooters, the Tracy Murrays, those guys, it's that much easier to play in space because the defense has to honor those guys, and if they space out, that means you may just have a wide-open lane to the basket.
Reading the court well, leave someone open on AW squad, and you're going to pay.
Pass to Little. McCollum outside. Out left to the wing. Down low. A rebound by the Timberwolves. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive end.
In-game adjustments are critical. They did an awesome job taking what the defense gave.
Here's Nurkic. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Yep, that one goes.
His offensive skill set is off the charts. He has more than a few ways to punish.
McCollum outside. The 15-footer. Again, McCollum missing.
Oh, he did everything right there except hit the shot.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
Yeah, and the season series between these two, 4 games in all, starting tonight. A chance to stake out an advantage in the division.
Some good defense in the NBA, so let's check out the leader. The Timberwolves, number 1.
Kevin, without a doubt, the best defensive team in the league this season. Forget about any other stats, steals, blocks, whatever. It comes down to limiting points. And so far, nobody's been better at holding their opponents in check.
Lillard attacking. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Portland called for the foul.
And players, by and large, really respect Che's thoughtfulness. I mean, he has an expansive worldview and is willing to express it.
For the Trailblazers, Adams comes in for Yusuf Nurkic. Rodney Hood subbed in for Little. Marcus Morris is checked in for Minnesota. Wiggins comes in for Culver. And Adams kicks to Lillard. Adams outside. The pass to McCollum. Shot clock at 5. Good on the 3-point shot.
And sometimes you just got to assume every 3 McCollum is going to take is going to go in. Star at a mid-major. Shout out to all the mid-major colleges. Lehigh University, C.J. McCollum wasn't that blue chip prospect. He sure worked his way to the top.
And Adams kicks to Hood. Passes it to Lillard. This one for 3. The shot missing. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And it's Brown that time on the assist by Wiggins. 8 points for Che. Four-year player at Lehigh, McCollum earned his degree in journalism.
Yeah, he had to beg his parents to switch from a business major, but now he's putting his degree to use. He already interviewed the commissioner. Man, keep playing. He's trying to come for my job, Kevin. When his playing days are done, though, I'm sure he'll be looking to try to take my job and yours and continue on that path.
Lillard against Brown. Goes up on the high post. Chalk up 2 there. Shea's got 10.
He's putting the hammer down. Dominant quarter for him, trying to push out that lead.
That's a 2 from Lillard. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Not the most productive quarter he'll ever have, but his shot selection's been a little bit dubious.
Here's McCollum. Here's Adams. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
There's that passion of his, battling with every ounce of energy he has.
Shea passes to Wiggins. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Towns kicks to Shea. That doesn't go either for Brown. Here's McCollum. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lillard. Trailblazers. Nurkic checked in for Steven Adams. Little comes in for Hood. And Lillard subbed in for C.J. McCollum. Here's Shea. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
On the court for Minnesota, we've got Colts. He's out there with Shea, and it's a Kogi in at the 3 spot. Lillard against Brown. Lillard the pass to Simons. Just 5 on the clock. From downtown, the shot, no good. And Minnesota will come the other way. They'll be off to Oklahoma City for a meeting with the Thunder after this one. It'll be the 3rd game of this 3-game road trip. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Pelicans got the job done. He had 30 points, and he was in a groove all game long, both the free throw line and behind the arc. That was just the latest chapter in what has been a very good stretch of outings for him. Can't afford to take anything for granted going into tonight.
Yeah, David, in stretches, he was absolutely dominant. Greg, he'd love to match that performance tonight.
This team needs his contributions. When he's right, he makes winning plays time and time again.
Yeah, Greg, it's all about getting into a comfort zone early. When he does that, he can be very difficult to contain the rest of the way.
Minnesota leading by 18. Releases from 15. Another miss by Shea.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Lillard with the bucket.
What more can you say about Lillard's gritty demeanor on the court? I guess contact doesn't bother.
Reed the pass to Culver. Inside. And Brown throws it down hard.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
No, but his teammates love that kind of energy, fellas. I mean, dunks like this demonstrate leadership.
Nurkic finds Lillard. Buries it from 3-point range. Lillard's got 5 points now this quarter.
Realizing when the defenders have overcommitted, Kev, I mean, like how Nurkic looks to hit the open man.
Okogie the pass to Brown. It's stolen by Little. Lillard surveying the D. Six to shoot. And taken away by Brown. And so we wrap up the first half. Timberwolves lead by 15. And now we'll send it over to David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with head coach Terry Stotts. Terry, what was the biggest reason for the early turnovers?
Well, they're a good defensive team. They have good hands. I think we forced a couple passes trying to get in and deep.
Terry, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court for the Trailblazers. At the 2 and the 3, McCollum and Little. Then it's Damian Lillard. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. And it's Jeffries in at the 4. Little dishes to Lillard. Chris, the common thought is you don't want to be a middle-of-the-road team. You think clubs are too quick now to pull the trigger on a rebuild as opposed to giving some time to what they've got and be more patient?
Oh, are you kidding me, Kevin? Don't make me, God. That's why I need a psychologist. Because when I was in Washington, we had myself, Rasheed Wallace, and Juwan Howard, and Ron Strickland. Like, just wait a minute. Give us 1 year to try. And by the way, the Bulls won 72. We couldn't have won a championship that year anyway. And so, yeah, I think a lot of teams are short-sighted and is based upon their expectations, and their expectations may not be based in reality.
Adams, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Greg, let's take a look at Nasir Little. More power and athleticism at this point than skill, wouldn't you say?
I mean, no doubt. As an amateur, he could rely on the physical gifts to dominate. But in the NBA, you have to be able to shoot and handle with confidence. I think Little will get there because he has a tremendous work ethic.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
And the Blazers, one of the best offenses in the league. I mean, their guards can make most any shot. And they've got some glass eaters to chase down any misses.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Jeffries kicks to Little. Clock at 4. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Little's got 4 points now in the quarter. And the Blazers rely on their guards in McCollum and Lillard to generate, Chris, a lot of their offense.
You're sometimes right, Kevin, and it could even be to a fault at times. I mean, they need more offense from their front court. Guys who can pound the ball inside and generate some easy offense around the rim.
Rodney Hood's checked in for Little. Morris is checked in for Minnesota. Wiggins comes in for Culver. Minnesota leading by 12. Pass to Wiggins. Towns dishes to Shea. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Shea's got 23 points.
Even with the D giving him a lot of attention, he's still finding ways to light him up.
Up top, Adams, defended by Towns. Adams, the pass to Hood. 6 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Lillard. From deep three-point range, the long distance three is buried. Lillard's got 8 points.
They've been very sharp to start to have a perfect 4 for 4 from the field.
Lillard against Brown. Over Lillard. And it's Portland with the rebound.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
McCollum outside and taken away by Brown. Outside, Walden. Pass to Morris. Wiggins with the bounce pass. Outside, Walden. Over Hood. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Walden's got his second basket. Lillard against Brown, and Lillard kicks to McCollum. 1:58 left to play here in the third. The dish now to Jeffries. Here's Lillard. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Jay. Brown jams lays it in.
He put a little extra on that one, didn't he? Chase stirring up the pot in challenge mode.
Trailblazers trail by 15. Lillard dishes to McCollum. Back to Lillard. Here is Jeffries. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. McCollum from deep, three-point land. Portland no good that time either.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Oh, trying to take advantage of that extra space on the perimeter. We see a lot of this now.
Shea's shot is off. Portland's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And there's the foul. It's on Towns. That's it. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Count it. Good.
Oh, that play took tremendous focus. Shea with the and one opportunity here.
That's when you look around the NBA, which player most emulates the style and approach that you had. You were special. So you've got to have a very special category for this one.
Well, thanks, Ken. That's flattering. I like to be in the categories with these guys because I'm such fans of them. But Blake Griffin, when I think about him, and also Joel Embiid, the fact that Embiid can shoot out on the floor, he can space up, but in the post, he likes to go to work as well. I just think he gives you such a mix of offensive moves that you can't stop, that as a defender, you're always worried and on guard and looking over your shoulder because you don't know what he's going to hit you with because he has so many options.
But in my mind, there's only one Chris Webber.
Oh, thanks, baby.
On the court for Minnesota, they've got Karl Anthony Towns, Culver out there with Shea, and it's Layman in at the small forward position.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. They can look forward to the Cavaliers after this game in a matchup against Cleveland. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. And the rejection by Towns. Now here's Brown. And it's Towns penetrating. Good, and the assist goes to Shea. 10 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And the foul called on Shea. That's his first foul. Nerlens Noel checks in for the Timberwolves. Okogie comes in for Culver. From deep, McLemore drills the three-pointer. McLemore's got his first 3 points of the game.
And with that three-pointer, how about ending that 11-0 run by the Timberwolves?
Here's Brown. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Well, it's been this way for most of the night. Shea displaying the vast arsenal on the offensive end.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. Timberwolves also changing it up. Walden, he's checked in for Layman. And Culver's subbed in for Josh Okogie. Lillard against Brown. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Kick out to Adams. Let's go. Little can't hit. Minnesota's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. And it's Brown missing. Portland's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And you talk about shot makers, C.J. McCollum, one of the best in the game. From mid-range, you could argue he's the best, flat out.
At the line for 2. And you look at the shot chart from McCollum. He's a threat, Greg, from everywhere.
Able to hit off the bounce, pulling up. At his height, he's got to be creative, making space for his shot.
And with the likely return of prep to pro prospects, Chris, some have argued for a high school combine to help determine who's ready to make the leap and who isn't?
I'm not really there with the high school combine. I still think that, you still have a level of college or a level of professionalism that can happen after. And I don't believe until you're ready to be evaluated for the pros immediately, should you have that combine. Your bodies are still growing. I talked to Jaren Jackson just yesterday, and he told me that he grew 2 inches over last summer. So I think it's a little unfair to judge these guys that early when their bodies and mentality still has a lot of development left.
The baseline jumper goes down. McCollum's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Timberwolves.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And these guys already with 45 wins on the year, so tonight will make it 46.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jay.
Well, he was the agitator, bothering everybody with his defense, coming up with steals. Making sure they were never able to get comfortable as long as he was out on the floor.
Yep, that one goes in there. Brown's got 37.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, there's no doubt as to who was the better team. They proved it with this one.
Bucket is good.
Oh, the movement off the ball is good. And the pass to hit him in stride is even better.
And they double up Jay. It's tipped. Here's Noel. Lays it up off the glass.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Oh, Greg, that's the dagger. You could tell they wanted that one. I know that seals the deal.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Now McLemore. Shot clock at 6. Here's Adams. Again, the Trailblazers score. From deep, Shea drains the three-pointer.
Oh, nice rhythm on that play. Getting Shea a good look within the flow of the offense.
And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Greg Anthony and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hey, this is Kenny, man. You've been pretty much on
Yo, it's the 2KMC, and with winter arriving in the neighborhood, we've got the latest events ready to go for you. Court Conqueror and a winter neighborhood. Is there a better combo? Don't answer that. And next week, it's the 7th Ruffles Ridge Tournament of Champions. There are only 2 events left, and the overall winner is headed to Chicago for NBA All-Star Weekend. If you're feeling that draft, close the door. Or pick up your ugly sweaters on Tuesday. Yes, it is that time.
From the plains of Oklahoma, welcome high above downtown Oklahoma City. Welcome to 2K Sports. We have the NBA coming up. Great to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from... And here's a look at some numbers for Brown.
And guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. They've got Walden, Brown out there with Culver. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Reed in at the 4 spot. And for Oklahoma City, Ferguson out there with Paul. Then it's Michael Porter. Then it's Kelly Olynyk. And it's Patton in at the center position. Long season, Brent, halfway through. Some teams try to create camaraderie, team dinners and team trips, and I would think that would help.
Well, that helps with your personal savings. You're not spending.
Absolutely,
You're not spending your per diem.
No per diem spending.
Well, there's a tremendous article that was written last year about what it is that Greg Popovich created in San Antonio. Funny thing, when that article came out about the Spurs dinner culture, I had people that were calling me up going, "You should read this," and I said, "Read it. I lived it." Are you kidding me? But absolutely, time like that, time where you have conversation, time in front of one another, where you learn about. Hopefully you're learning about the vulnerabilities of your teammate, because in the end, that's what ends up making you stronger. So I think those kind of things help immensely.
Now, here's Olynyk. He's covered closely. Just 3 to shoot. Rebound, Minnesota. Fresh from a win against Portland.
And you gotta love a team that can maintain its composure on the road. Take good shots and knock them down with confidence.
Well, awesome to see in that last game how the motion in their offense didn't stop because they were in some hostile territory.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
That's 0 for 4 now. Time to slow it down and maybe get the best possible shot the next time down.
Count it.
Now they can't miss. 4 for 4 and warming up the burners.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Oklahoma City has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Billy Donovan and I got a chance to talk for a little bit. He said that Karl Anthony Towns is arguably the most gifted offensive center in the league today. Kevin, you better believe their defense is keyed on slowing him down.
Thank you, David.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Yeah, the bully ball tonight has paid dividends. Highly effective down there with the physical play.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
Yeah, on the road, you're already a little out of your element. Then the misses from the line become contagious.
Well, it can affect your confidence, not just as the player shooting, but the entire team. So defenses might get a little bit more aggressive, and then you got to think about the next free throw.
Porter finds Paul. Oklahoma City moving it around. From deep. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 4 rebounds in this game. And it's Brown missing. Thunder trailing by 10. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Now here's Porter. 20 points for him last game against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Paul for three. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
You know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there, Kevin. Too bad he can't release that one on target.
Outside, Porter. The pass to Ferguson. Here's Patton. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Excellent all-around performance so far. Yeah. The big lead.
Well, if I was baking up a lead, I'd add two ingredients. One would be playing smart. The other one, playing selfless. They've done that tonight. Serve it up.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that.
So the Timberwolves have had two chances at the line already, making them both.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Now the shot clock resets to 14 seconds on an offensive rebound. Brent, you like that change?
I think digging into the numbers a little bit, Kevin, it only affects about 3% of total possessions.
Is that all?
Yeah, throughout the course of the year. Not in any given game. So it's very, very...
No kidding.
Very, very minimal what happens. But what I like is that players have to reset quickly with 14 on the clock. And I think coaches are starting to think about how it is they might have quick sets as opposed to getting the ball to the top of the key and trying to run through a traditional set. Maybe you have quick sets after the reset to get yourself a better shot.
More strategy. So on the floor for Minnesota, they've got Morris. He's out there with Andrew Wiggins. Noel is out there with Brown. And it's Okogie in at the two guard.
There's something about it. The game feels like it's slowing down out there for Che, who's seeing the whole court.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Che in the last game against the Trailblazers got the job done. He scored 40 points. And along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
Yeah, David, he was in attack mode all night long. GA really propelled them to that win.
When he's on, he is on. And there isn't all that much you can do to stop him.
And sometimes you can just look at a guy and you see the confidence that he's playing with. That's what I like best.
Ferguson, the pass to Patton. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Such a long and versatile guard that possesses a very intriguing and exciting skill set. Gilgeous-Alexander, lots of room to grow.
Two shots.
First free throw is good. Chris Paul, he's checked in for the Thunder. And so he makes both from the line. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. They'll be playing host to Portland for their next game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Towns, no luck. Difficult situation for Oklahoma City. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Walden.
Such a savvy guard, easily getting the foul call on those type of shots.
It's his first trip to the line.
He's been doing really nice work at the line. 83%. And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Here's Brown. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And we'll take a chance now to honor the Western Conference Player of the Month, Shea.
Well, it's not often you see someone be this impactful on the defensive end, but that's what makes him special. I mean, he's been doing all the little things that don't necessarily show up in the box score, but you can bet his coach and teammates know that he's been carrying the team with his D.
Paul passes to Patton. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
And here's Brown outside, and the three ball is good. Shea's got 13.
Just looks like he's got more feel tonight, like he's really got a good grip on that ball as he's letting it go.
Paul outside to the middle. Towns with the steal. They push it up 4-on-3. Lobbed up there for Walden.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Porter in the corner. His three-pointer's off the mark.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And then Brown with the dunk.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
Nice to play with a point guard that takes pride in playmaking. It makes you move around just a little bit faster to get open spots.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, every time the shot goes up, guys are doing a nice job of finding bodies and making sure there's room to collect the rebound.
And this coaching staff appreciates the effort from Culver. The defense is about anticipation and hustle.
And so it's Minnesota holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Karl Anthony Towns.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action. Foul. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Kelly Olynyk is out there with Porter. Then it's Chris Paul, and it's Patton in at the 5. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half.
Yeah, you just cannot have any fear once you commit to taking it to the hoop. Shea showing some guts.
Paul outside. With the fadeaway. And Olynyk with the basket on the assist from Porter. Olynyk's got his first 2 points. Brown drives in. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Really wild to think that there were doubts on Shea's commitment to the game. He's proving himself and proving that he can hoop.
Free throw, good. Shea. What improvements, Brent, do you like to see out of players going from season 1 to their second season in the league?
Biggest thing, Kevin, turnovers. Player comes into the league, has an opportunity to play, wants to rush things, plays too fast, doesn't have an ability to slow down and make reads. From season 1 to season 2, and given the role and responsibility for that player, when you watch a guy whose ability to take away the mistakes, the simple mistakes he made last year, that's growth.
Because it's connected to so many other areas of his game.
Right, and he's not trying to do things that he wasn't capable of doing when he came into the league last year. He's understanding more of where it is that he's best suited in possessions and for that offense.
Good explanation. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. 5 to shoot. Here's Ferguson, guarded by Walden.
And how about A.W. there rejecting shots, proving he can make an impact on this end.
Both teams will make substitutions. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Back to Payton. He's checked in for Oklahoma City. Gilgeous-Alexander comes in for Chris Paul. Okogie's checked in for Minnesota. Shea comes in for Elfrid Payton. Oklahoma City's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Here's Patton, and the rejection by Noel.
Noel in there to intimidate, and does so there.
Here's Shea. That one falls. Brown's got 22 points.
Now that basket must be widening out right now, Kevin. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
36 seconds left in the third. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Shea. Gilgeous-Alexander, good.
Gilgeous-Alexander becoming more and more comfortable where he can score on the floor.
Here's Shea, and again it's Minnesota.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, and the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's tightly guarded. Here's Trier, and a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in. Trier's got 4 this quarter. And so it's Minnesota ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. We've got Allen Williams, Culver out there with Brown, and it's Reed in at the 4-man position. Here's Nader, and Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
On the wing, Shea. Offline with his 3.
Yeah, the three-pointer has not been his weapon in this one. He had 1 in the first quarter and still 0 here in the second. Yeah, the body language right now is not looking good for this basketball team. The game might be out of reach, but they have to avoid mistakes like that.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Minnesota. Walden comes in for Josh Okogie.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
To the paint. The shot's good from Paul.
So creative right there. Paul's fantastic at finding ways to get inside and capitalize, whether it's him or a teammate.
Here's Brown. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Brent, with advanced analytics becoming commonplace in the NBA, which stats do you personally hold most valuable?
Well, it's amazing to talk about effective field goal percentage. I laugh a lot about...
Which is everything shooting. Free throws.
Yeah, well, I like to use true shooting percentage, Kevin, because that's where you adopt 3-point shooting percentage, 2-point shooting percentage, and your free throw percentage.
Everything.
But in talking to a lot of people around the league, general managers and coaches, I laugh inside to myself a little bit like, oh, so now shooting's important? Like what? Like now shooting's important around the league?
Right.
As if, you know, the time that you go out to start playing basketball, you grab a ball, you go towards the goal, and your goal is to make the shot. And so we're talking so much more about how much shooting is valued. Effective field goal percentage is tremendous, with true shooting percentage being not far behind.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Shea head down, nose down, wanting to get in there, not afraid to dribble in and earn some foul shots.
And both free throws good for Che.
I felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line.
Right wing, here's Baisley, and that one goes long.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Brown against Paul. They get a hand on it. Che inside. Culver passes to Che. The shot misses. Paul with the defensive effort.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
The quick look, no good that time. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Brent, a lot of teams will be paying that luxury tax, and that is a tough thing for a lot of owners to swallow. Is this the best method to deter teams from going over the cap and overspending and outspending smaller markets?
You're hitting the nail on the head, Kevin, because there are some teams, as much as you said it's tough for some teams to swallow, there are other teams that never see that pill.
Right.
And they're willing to go as far as they need to go in order to put a championship team on the floor. It seems to be working, but the question you have for me, was it a deterrent right now? I don't know if it's as significant as it needs to be. We know the repeater tax certainly hurts some teams, but there are still teams that are willing to spend, Kevin, and that's really tough on small market teams who want to avoid that at all costs.
And, you know, as he learns the game at this level, he's going to block more shots. Porter has the length and the ability to move his feet.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Olenek's checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Allen Williams, he's checked in for Towns.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, the big man not going to slow him down from getting that deuce.
Diallo finds Olenek. Here's Steffens. He's guarded by Williams. Stevens, the pass to Davidson. Clock at 6. Poke loose. Over to the left wing. Nader. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Timberwolves.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And on the year now, tonight's impending victory will push their win total to 47.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Che.
He was tough to cover all game long. One of those nights when he felt like nobody could stop him, and they didn't.
Puts it up from 17, and he hits the jump shot. Brown's got 33 points.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, when you step into an opposing team's arena and you can play with this type of composure, boy, that food tastes good on the way out of town.
Nader the pass to Stevens. And it's off the back rim, no good. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Passes to Olenek. Here's Steffens. Fires the three. And Lehman pulls it down. Here's Che. It's deflected. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team...
don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brent